What is a get? According to Jewish law, a married couple becomes divorced with the giving and receiving of a get. This video will explain the process of a standard get, where the husband and wife are both present. The Torah says, "V'kasav la sefer krisos v'nasan biyada," and he shall write her a bill of divorce and give it into her hand. The husband, through the scribe, must write and place the get into his wife's hand. The get must be written specifically for the husband's sake and specifically for the wife's sake, and for the purpose of divorce. This is known as lishmo, v'lishma, u'lishem gerushin. Lishmo v'lishma. The get is custom written for the sake of the couple with the husband and wife's names. Traditionally, last names are not used to identify the parties. Instead, nicknames and other names the parties are known by, as well as their father's names, are used. The officiating rabbi will call both parties to determine the exact names to be used in the get. U'lishem gerushin, for the purpose of divorce. Therefore, the get can't be prepared before the husband expresses his will to divorce and instructs that the get be written. You should bring to your get a driver's license or other photo identification, your marriage license, your ketubah, and if you were previously divorced, bring your pator, your certificate of divorce. It's also suggested to bring a friend or relative for moral support. Present at the proceedings are the husband, the wife, the officiating rabbi, sometimes accompanied by two other rabbis, a scribe, two witnesses, and other support people that either spouse may invite. At the start of the proceedings, the officiating rabbi affirms the identity of the husband and wife. He may request photo identification and ask others who are present to verify the identity of both parties. The rabbi explains the get process to the couple. They are handed a script with the declarations they need to make, as well as the questions and answers they need to respond to. Throughout the proceedings, the parties will be referred to by the names the rabbi has determined to be written in the get. The rabbi will need to ascertain that the husband is giving the get of his own free will.
Do you want to give a get to your wife of your own free will, without compulsion and unconditionally?
Yes.
A vow binds one to do something they may not want to do at a later date. If the husband had previously made a vow to give a get, he may be compelled to give the get because of his vow. Therefore, the rabbis instituted that we should annul the vows. This is called hataras nadarim.
Did you make a vow or did you obligate yourself either to divorce or not to divorce?
No.
Perhaps you have said something which compels you to give a divorce or not to give a divorce, but have forgotten. We could therefore release you from any such obligation.
If I have bound myself or obligated myself in any way to give or not to give a divorce, I hereby in your presence regret such action.
If you had made such things and had known then that you would regret them now, would you have made them?
I would not have made them, therefore I ask of you to release me.
The appointed bezdin says mutar lach, you are released, 3 times, thus releasing the husband from any such vows he may have made. Any declaration made by the husband prior to giving a get indicating that he is being forced can cause complications or even invalidate the get. The rabbi will ask the husband to declare to the witnesses that he cancels any such prior statement.
Have you ever said anything with intention of rendering this get null and void? Have you ever declared that you are giving this get under duress? Did you ever say that you are not giving the get of your own free will, or something to this effect? Or did you perform any act to render this get null and void?
I have never declared that I am giving this get under duress, nor uttered anything, nor done anything to render this get null and void.
Perhaps you have once declared that you are giving this get under duress, or you have uttered or done something to render this get null and void and have forgotten. Will you therefore make void all such remarks and acts of yours in the presence of the witnesses?
You and you are witnesses. Behold, I am rendering null and void every declaration and implied statement that I may have made that I am giving this get under duress, even when the implication is very far-fetched and distantly implied to the end of such possible implications.
A get needs to be written with the husband's own writing materials. The scribe will present the materials to the husband as an absolute gift to belong to the husband.
I am presenting to you, as an absolute gift, this paper, ink, inkwell, quill, and all the other writing materials to become your property.
The husband lifts the writing materials, symbolizing his acquisition and ownership of them. The scribe is appointed by the husband to write the get in the presence of witnesses.
You witnesses, you and you, listen carefully to the orders I shall give the scribe. You scribe, take this paper, ink, inkwell, quill, and all the other writing materials, and write a get specifically for me, to divorce with it my wife, and write one get or more, even as many as 100 Gittin, all of them, Lishmi, V'Lishma, U'Lashem Gerushin, until one valid get is written and signed according to your understanding and the understanding of the Rabbi, and comes into my wife's hands, that she be divorced thereby, according to the laws of Moses and Israel. I hereby authorize you to make any corrections in the document.
I shall do so.
The witnesses are appointed by the husband to sign the get and witness it being given to the wife.
You and you act as witnesses and sign the get which the scribe shall write. You shall sign the get specifically for me, to divorce with it my wife. Sign one get or more, even as many as 100 Gittin, all of them Lishmi, V'Lishma, U'Lashem Gerushin, until one valid get is written and signed according to your understanding and the understanding of the Rabbi, and comes into my wife's hands, that she be divorced thereby, according to the laws of Moses and Israel. I also order you to be the witnesses to the delivery of the get into my wife's hands.
I shall do so.
The scribe is now ready to proceed and starts preparing to write the get. First, the scribe will declare to the witnesses that he is making the preparations specifically for this couple.
Listen to me, witnesses. I hereby declare that all the preparations that I am doing are for the purpose of the divorcing husband, who ordered me to write a get to divorce with it his wife. And behold, I am doing them Lishmo, Lishma, U'Lashem Gerushin.
The scribe makes lines in the paper called sirtot, which are made by placing a board with lines under the paper and pressing down on those lines, making an indentation. Before beginning to write the get, the scribe will declare to the witnesses that he is going to write this get specifically for this couple.
Listen to me, witnesses. I hereby declare that I am writing this get for the purpose of the divorcing husband, who ordered me to write a get to divorce with it his wife. And behold, I am writing it Lishmo, Lishma, U'Lashem Gerushin.
Then he begins writing, which takes about 45 minutes. A get has 12 lines. The get specifies the date according to the Hebrew calendar, the location in which the get is written, including details such as the local bodies of water and water sources, as well as the husband, wife, and their father's names and nicknames. The get also clarifies the husband's wholehearted consent to divorce his wife, the wife's agency to marry whomever she desires, and that the document is a bill of divorce according to Jewish law. After the get is written, the rabbi and the witnesses will proofread the get to make sure everything is correct. Once they've finished reviewing, the witnesses are ready to sign. Before signing the get, each witness will declare that he is signing the get specifically for this couple.
You witness see that I'm signing this get l'shmoi ilishma ilishem Gittin. Behold, I am signing this get for the sake
of the divorcing husband who ordered us to sign a get to divorce with it his wife, and I sign it l'shmoi ilishma l'shem Gittin.
The rabbi will go over a checklist with the witnesses and scribe to ascertain that everything is done according to Jewish law. After the get is written and signed, the rabbi affirms that the husband still stands by his previous statements.
Do you stand by all the statements that you made to us before the writing of the get?
Yes.
The rabbi now poses several questions to the wife that are similar to those posed to the husband.
Do you consent to receive the get from your husband of your own free will, without compulsion and unconditionally?
Yes.
Did you make a vow, or did you obligate yourself in any other way, either to receive or not to receive a get?
No.
Have you ever said anything with the intention of rendering the get null and void? Have you ever declared that you are accepting this get under duress? Did you ever say that you are not accepting this get of your own free will, or something to that effect? Or did you perform any act to render this get null and void?
I have never made a statement that I'm accepting this get under duress, nor said nor did anything that would render the get null and void. If I did utter such a protest or made such a declaration, I hereby revoke it in the presence of you two witnesses.
A get is totally separate from any financial settlement and divorce agreement, except for the ketubah, as it may be considered linked to the get process. Therefore, we need to clear up the status of the ketubah, whether it was settled or the parties are not interested in pursuing it.
Have you settled all claims regarding ksuba? And if they are unresolved, do you waive your rights to the ksuba?
Yes.
The rabbi explains the procedure to both parties, the process, and how to give the get. The get needs to be placed directly into the wife's hands. If she's wearing rings or other jewelry, they must be removed prior to receiving the get. The rabbi folds the get in a specific manner and makes sure the witnesses can see the get the entire time. The wife holds her hands out in a V shape. It is essential that the wife does not assist the husband as he places the get in her hands. The husband holds the get over his wife's hands and declares,
Hareze gitech, this is your get. V'hiskabli gitech zeh, and accept this, your get. Uvai sihayi megureshes mimeni, and with it you shall be divorced from me, me'achshav, from this very moment. And you are untied and permissible to anyone. V'areya muteres l'chal adam.
The husband places the get into his wife's cupped hands. The wife closes her hands on the get. She lifts the get in her hands and then places the get under her arm. She then walks a few steps before handing it to the witnesses. The witnesses read over the get once more, and the rabbi affirms that the couple is now religiously divorced. Lastly, the rabbi addresses the room.
If anyone has any comment on the kashrus of this get, please speak up now. Since nobody has anything to say, be aware that Rabbeinu Tam imposed a cherem upon anyone who questions the validity of the get after it has been given.
The rabbi hands a document to both parties from the Beis Din that certifies the completion of a kosher get. This document may be referred to as a heter nesuin or a p'tor.
It is customary after the giving of a get to wish a mazel tov. We wish you the best as you embark on the next chapter of your life, and we hope that the years ahead are full of happiness and blessings for you and your families.